Hi everyone, Rabbi Yaakov Moskowitz here, and I want to let you know it's been such an amazing journey going through Parashat Va'eira with all of you this week. I want to thank Elad for inviting me to join this incredible group of people who are zeroed in and focused on trying to get a grasp and understanding the Parsha every single week. And Be'ezras Hashem, all of you should take that feeling that we have at the end of the week, that understanding that I got this, I understand this Parsha, I really understand the message of what HaKadosh Baruch Hu is telling me in this week's Torah reading, and take that throughout every single Parsha throughout the entire year to Be'ezras Hashem get a real grasp on the entire Torah. At the end of the Parsha, Paro does something that's very uncharacteristic of him. After the Makkah of Barad, after the plague of the hail, Paro says the following words. He says, Chatosi apam, I have sinned. Hashem hatzadik va'ani va'ami harashoyim. Hashem is righteous, and I and my people are wicked. Paro, for those moments, did a very real tshuva in coming close to Hashem. And the Rishonim were all bothered by what was unique about the Makkah of Barad, of the hail, that caused him to say this. And the Riva, amongst other Rishonim, explain that before the Makkah of Barad, Hashem gave a special warning to Paro that you and the Egyptians should take in your cattle. And those people who take in their animals, the animals will not get destroyed. However, if you leave it out, it will get destroyed. And after the Makkah was over, Paro was reflecting upon what Hashem told him. And the words he says that Paro felt shegomal olai chesed lahazhirani al shali, that Hashem did a chesed for me to warn me about my stuff. But me and my people, we didn't think about that chesed, and we are rishayim because we didn't zero in on that. And if you stop and you think about this, it's absolutely unbelievable. My Rosh Yeshiva of Henoch Leibowitz pointed out that we've gone through so many makos. Paro has faced total destruction throughout Egypt, physical pain, emotional distress, financial discomfort. It's been terrible. And none of that got Paro to admit that there's Hashem. He was so stubborn, he wouldn't do tshuva throughout all of that. However, even though he was so stubborn, but when he recognized, when he zeroed in on a chesed that HaKadosh Baruch Hu did for him, that he gave him that warning, that penetrated in Paro's heart so deeply, that chesed, that's what caused him, drove him to come close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and for those moments, actually did a real tshuva. Very often we find ourselves wondering, what is it that could bring me and that could bring other people closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu? And the answer is right here. If Paro, who was such a rasha and who was so stubborn, was able to come close to Hashem by recognizing the chaste Hashem, by recognizing Hashem's love for him, Hashem's kindness for him, then al achas kama v'kama by all of us. If we stop and we recognize and zero in on the chesed that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is doing for us in our lives on a consistent basis, then that is what will bring us closer to the Ribbono Shel Olam. There was an incredible story going around at the beginning of the pandemic about a 93-year-old man who was taken into the hospital, and he was on a ventilator for 24 hours. And when he left the hospital, they gave him a bill for 4,000 euro. And as soon as he sees the bill, he begins to cry. And the doctors come over and they say, listen, I'm sorry, but that's what it costs. But if you need, we could come up with a plan, a payment plan, whatever. We could figure it out. He says, that's not why I'm crying. He says, I could afford to pay the bill. But he said, I had a very clear recognition right now that if it costs 4,000 euro to be able to breathe on this machine for just 24 hours, then what do I owe God, who has given me the ability to breathe for the last 93 years, and I didn't pay him anything? That man had a very real recognition of the chaste Hashem, of how Hashem has allowed him to breathe, allowed him to live for his entire life. And look at how much I owe HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that's what brought him close to him. Be'ezras Hashem, let us take this message of Parashat Va'eira, that we need to stop and zero in on the chaste Hashem that's going on in our life. Look at all that Hashem gives us, our health, our family, our parnasa, every single thing that's going on in our lives, and recognize, Hashem is doing so much for me. What is it that I could do back for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And Be'ezras Hashem, through that recognition, that is going to bring us ever closer in our relationship with Hashem. Have a wonderful Shabbos.